Live from the news team that's working for you, this is ABC 3340 News at 6.
Right now at 6, we're now just hours away from some winter weather mischief moving through Alabama.
By this time tomorrow, more than 1 million Alabamians could see snow, while others might not see any at all. The Weather Authority Chief Meteorologist James Spann watching things closely. James, what's the latest update?
We could see some icy spots on bridges as early as 3 to 6 a.m. That's in just a few hours. Already we have some light sleet and falling in parts of West Alabama, so icy spots in the morning, especially on the western side of the state. The heavier precipitation, the most widespread travel problems likely coming after 4 o'clock tomorrow. This is where we'll probably see the heaviest chance of accumulating snow, east central Alabama, lighter amounts off to the west and south. We should mention areas in South Alabama could see sleet and freezing rain tomorrow night. These are winter weather advisories. Northwest and southwest Alabama. A winter storm warning in effect for the counties in pink. Some spots in here could receive 3 inches. But understand, not everybody will get that much. Some spots will see no accumulating snow. Potential to 3 inches in spots where you see the counties in pink, including Shelby, Chilton, Talladega, Coosa, Tallapoosa, Clay, Randolph, Chambers, Cleburne, and Calhoun. That includes the city of Anniston. And again, we've had some reports of light sleet on the western side of the state. No problems before midnight. We're currently in the 40s. Colder air north of the state. That pulls in tomorrow, will likely stay below freezing much of the day. And tomorrow night we go in the 20s. And as the precipitation increases, that's when the travel will be most significant, the travel problems. Got a lot to talk about. Much more weather coming up in the main weather segment, so stay with us.
All right, see you in a few minutes, James. Governor Robert Bentley has declared a state of emergency ahead of Friday's winter weather.
That declaration goes into place at 7 o'clock Friday morning. The ABC 3340 team working to prepare you for what Mother Nature has in store for central Alabama.
And we begin tonight's team coverage with ABC 3340's Vinton Blandon live in Shelby County to show us how first responders are preparing for the snow. Vinny?
Friday's forecast has the attention of so many people. Everybody we talk to in Shelby County has either asked, is it going to really snow? Is the storm going to be bad? And if schools would be open? It's likely most people watching this newscast right now won't be at work or school when that snow begins to fall. But for those first responders, they're not so lucky. The beeps on the defibrillator often suggest an emergency. Crews with the regional paramedical services know a snowy day won't stop calls to 911.
Our trucks tend to be on the road a lot more than a lot of the fire departments are.
RPS Operations Manager Barry Rich oversees most ambulances serving Shelby County.
We just go through all of our backup trucks and make sure everything is good and ready to go. We pull our frontline trucks, our newer trucks off the road and put our crews in backup trucks to keep from tearing up the new ones.
Ambulances might hit the roads more in a snowy storm, but fire trucks do roll.
Whether it's cold or whether it's hot, that can be exertional on the firefighter.
Almost tougher than putting out fires is staying dry.
If they do get wet, we dry them off, keep them warm as best we can, and we just keep an eye on them for hypothermia, which is low body temperature.
Police officers drive smaller vehicles but play a big part in keeping things in order. Columbiana's police chief knows his department will get calls too.
We have a few four-wheel drives that we use if the roads get where they're really bad. We try to maintain as many four-wheel drives as we can.
First responders don't expect to be fazed by tomorrow's snow event. Most are used to working under pressure, but they say if you want to help make it an easy day for them, stay off the road and don't call 911 if it's not an emergency. Reporting live in Columbiana, Vinton Blandon, ABC 3340.
All right, thanks, Vinny. The concern for many people tonight, the road conditions tomorrow. Take a live look at current on-time traffic conditions along Highway 280. Right now we are seeing the typical rush hour delays, but you can be sure that Alabama's busiest highway will not be nearly as packed tomorrow. However, if road conditions do deteriorate, crews are on standby and will be on standby working to make the roadways as safe as possible. ABC 3340's Jennifer Gonsolin continues our team coverage live in Birmingham to show us how crews have prepared in Alabama's largest metro area. Jennifer?
Absolutely, Dave. I am just outside the Jefferson County Bessemer camp, and this is where road preparations have been underway for Jefferson County roads. Now, earlier today, I spoke with officials who say they are more than prepared. They say that they're actually only anticipating not very much for tomorrow. They don't think they'll have to do much just because the storm is only expected to last for about 24 hours. They do anticipate having crews out, though, around the afternoon time, putting sand down on the roadways. Their biggest priority will be those high emergency areas to make sure that traffic flows smoothly for emergency vehicles such as fire and ambulances and police. They will also be paying a lot of attention to the bridges because they tend to ice over, of course, during this time. We have about 300 bridges in Jefferson County that will certainly need attention. Officials are urging motorists, though, to stay off of the roads if you don't have to be out. Reporting live here in Jefferson County, Jennifer Gonsalan, ABC 3340.
East Alabama is in the so-called bullseye of what's to come. Much of the area will go under a winter storm warning at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. ABC 3340's Yasmina Alston continues our team coverage live in Calhoun County. Yasmina, how are leaders there preparing for the potential winter weather?
Well, they're definitely preparing here in Calhoun County. I actually spent some time at the EMA office today where the director says they've been preparing for potential winter weather all week. Jonathan Gaddy, who is the director here in Calhoun County, says what they expect most out of this is travel impacts. That would start Friday morning, go into Friday night, and last until Saturday morning. He says if you do have to travel, drive slowly, safely, and give yourself extra time. And that doesn't just go for small back roads, but also includes traveling on the interstates passing through. He tells me crews will be on standby should a motorist need help while traveling.
The state's definitely making preparations and watching the interstate very closely. Calhoun County, along with the other counties along the interstate, will be working with any motorists that could become stranded to make sure that they're taken care of.
And crews at the EMA will continue to monitor conditions throughout the night so they're able to keep everyone up to date. And Gaddy says this weather event really could go either way. So right now it's just all about being prepared for whatever happens. Live in Oxford, Yasmina Alston, ABC 3340.
In Tuscaloosa County, road engineers started preparing for the potential snow Monday. 75 road workers are on standby to spread sand on snow-covered roadways. The county has hundreds of tons of sand stockpiled for use. Now, 3 large sand trucks and 20 crew trucks are available to spread the mixture on roads and bridges. We're told crews will come in at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning and will work throughout the day and night as needed.
The Weather Authority and ABC 3340 will provide you with the latest information on the ABC 3340 app. Open it anytime for instant access to the latest forecast models and live radar.
And ABC 3340 will be covering the winter weather throughout the weekend. Wake up tomorrow with ABC 3340 Morning News for your current weather conditions, and join us for a special edition of ABC 3340 Morning News beginning at 5 a.m. Saturday. We'll have full team coverage on whatever Mother Nature brings our way. And our winter weather coverage just getting started tonight.
Chief Meteorologist James Spann is in the Weather Center looking at the latest data. He's back with an update in less than 4 minutes. But first, a fallen deputy honored. Hear what made today so special for the family he left behind next on ABC 3340 News at 6. New at 6 tonight, a section of Interstate 59 is now named in honor of Deputy Henry Lloyd Brooks.
He was killed on the job in 1997 by a drunk driver while processing a crime scene near Roebuck Parkway. His wife says this marker is special for her family.
This is phenomenal to honor a deputy sheriff who did so much good for not just the community, but everyone. My children are in shock.
And January 18th will mark 20 years since Brooks was killed. The man who hit him was caught and charged with manslaughter.
Well, let's get back to our weather because we've been talking about snow all week, and this forecast just keeps changing.
And we should point out that that video we keep showing, that is not Alabama
No,
right
not
now.
yet.
No, that's
Not
not
yet.
happening right now. But yeah, it's going to be an active day tomorrow. Let's go to our sky cam. This is the one in Coleman. Now, they're sitting at 39 degrees down below that U.S. Highway 278. Once they go below freezing later tonight, they stay below freezing until sometime Sunday. A wintry mess tomorrow, the latest, all coming up, so stay with us.
We filled it up with sand and put a flower bed there. And it
Didn't last, huh?
No.
A troubling hole of water, where it's coming from. Next on Fighting for You, we test the water and get insight from experts as we work to help the homeowner. A mystery pool of water has one Eagle Creek homeowner stumped.
For a year now, the hole by her front yard has been growing, along with a crack in her driveway. Now ABC 3340's Fighting for You is on the case in Oak Mountain. ABC 3340's Cynthia Gould has a look at some of the potential causes. Cynthia?
Well, Dave, maybe a cracked pipe somewhere, a sinkhole, or groundwater. You name it, they are looking at everything. Melanie Friel called us frustrated and concerned, so we've brought in some experts to get in the mix. The hole by Friel's driveway is about 3 feet deep. She can scoop out 15 to 20 gallons of water a day.
I just get pitchers of water and water all my plants with it. I don't want to waste it.
There's no problem with the meter. Her bills are the same as always. The Shelby County Water Company, plumbers, handymen, landscape irrigation specialists all have theories about what's going on here, but nothing seems to work.
They can't figure it out either. We put boards there so no one will fall in.
Fighting for You began our own testing of the water for about $2. We mixed a sample of the water with a liquid from a local pool supply company. It shows us there is no chlorine in the water, meaning it's not from the municipal system. Compare that to the water from the kitchen sink. Yellow means chlorine treated.
We just don't know what to do.
Our next call, Auburn University's geology expert, Dr. John Hawkins. His best guess? It's a local source which will continue to grow, probably man-made, an old forgotten pipe that is leaking nearby. He has suggested several steps for the Friels to take to narrow the focus. Adding the water system should try turning off water to the entire street and see if the hole fills back up. Now, Fighting for You has also reached out to a water engineering expert who is going to visit the property. All agree this should not be allowed to continue or that hole is going to keep on growing. We are not going to give up just yet. Dave?
Hang in there and fight for everyone. Thank you, Cynthia. Well, continuing our winter weather coverage tonight, shoppers are making a mad dash for the bread and milk before the snow starts to fall. Store managers say that the biggest crowds are still to come. ABC 3340's Stoney Sharp is live in Tuscaloosa. And Stoney, you found one store that has been preparing for this for several days.
Indeed, Dave. Piggly Wiggly in Alberta began planning for the snow this past weekend. Extra shipments of food arrived today just in time.
I say it might snow, but I don't think it's gonna stick.
Snow in the forecast creates a flurry of business. Bread and milk, always the big sellers.
Buying bread and milk, getting ready for the snow.
I got bread, I got meat, I got canned goods.
No one wants to go hungry on a snow day. Piggly Wiggly in Alberta expects a lot of customer traffic tonight.
You can't go out, you can make a ham sandwich.
The road gets pretty bad, I don't get out.
Actually, last Saturday we decided to start ordering milk early.
400 extra gallons of milk were hauled in from Nashville. 280 extra loaves of bread were shipped from Atlanta. Hardware stores also seeing an increase in business.
And people are coming in, getting prepared for it.
The top winter essentials at Anders Hardware in Northport. They sell hundreds of faucet covers.
I call it a $2.19 insurance policy.
Ice melt is also very popular.
It's used in icy conditions on driveways, walkways, and stairs.
And customers haven't forgotten what snow is all about.
There's also a fun side to it, so we have been selling some snow sleds too.
And according to Piggly Wiggly, stores do not make a huge profit off of winter weather. Customers tend to stockpile food before it snows and then don't shop for a long time, which impacts sales. Live in Alberta, Stoney Sharp, ABC 3340.
The whole idea is to make sure the kids have a good time in the snow. They don't see much of it around here, and the parents want to make sure that they understand what snow is and how much fun it can be.
Sleds are flying off the shelves at 5 Points Hardware. The owners stock up for the weekends like this one. The ice skating rink at Railroad Park plans to be open all weekend long. A spokesperson tells us if that changes, they'll post notifications on their social media accounts. And love it or not, many Alabamians are expecting a winter wonderland with snow in that forecast.
So, James, when can we expect the flurries to begin falling?
We've actually got some patches of sleet in the state right now, but we don't expect any problems prior to midnight tonight. This is our sky cam up in the Tennessee Valley at Athens. This is where we'll start to see that very cold air coming in. They're down to 35. They'll likely go below freezing, I'd say, by 8 o'clock tonight. And many locations north of Birmingham stay below freezing all day tomorrow. In terms of timing, we might see some icy spots on bridges as early as 3 to 6 a.m. on the western side of the state. Now, the ground is relatively warm, so the initial problem, bridge icing. However, after 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we'll see heavier precipitation. The temperatures drop in the 20s tomorrow night. That's when travel problems will likely increase statewide. This is the map we often show. And understand, people focus on 3 and they focus on 2. They don't see the other words. Not everybody will see 3 inches in here. Not everybody will see 2 inches here. Some spots could see only a few snowflakes, but there is potential in these zones for up to 3 inches here, up to 2 inches off to the north and west. In that heavier snow zone, there's a winter storm warning here. The other areas, that is a winter weather advisory. The winter storm warning in effect for Shelby, Chilton, Talladega, Coosa, Tallapoosa, Clay, Randolph, Chambers, Cleburne, Calhoun counties. This includes places like Talladega, Anniston, Ashland, and Lake Martin. That's where the chance of heavier snow will be. Now, in terms of temperatures, this is the colder air starting to nose in. We've got mid-30s up in the Tennessee Valley. It's going to be very cold. That is a certainty. Highs tomorrow only in the middle 30s, and again, north of Birmingham, many spots will likely stay below freezing all day long. Look very carefully here. A few sprinkles and patches of sleet in the western part of Birmingham. This is no big deal tonight. Overnight, we'll see a gradual increase in precipitation. Again, by tomorrow morning, we could see a few icy spots on bridges here. The big mass of precipitation will likely come tomorrow night, however. That's when the travel problems will be increasing statewide. A little bit of sprinkles, sleet tonight, mostly cloudy with a low at 27. Tomorrow, periods of snow, cloudy, very cold, the high 35, a north wind at 7 to 14. The snow will be increasing tomorrow night, and it will be ending very early Saturday morning, more than likely before daybreak. The sky becoming partly sunny, the high 36, 39 on Sunday. Check out those morning lows in the mid to upper teens, both Sunday and Monday morning. And for next week, we warm up and a chance of rain returns on Wednesday. You can catch my forecast every day on great radio stations around the state, including 98.7 Today's Kiss. So again, when those maps with those colors, not everybody's going to see 3 inches. Not everybody's going to see 2 inches. Some people will get nothing. That's the accumulation potential. And typically you get about a 50-mile wide strip of heavier snow. We think that will be over central Alabama somewhere, and we'll find out with the radar trends tomorrow morning.
And someone is likely to get that strip.
I do believe we are going to see some 3-inch amounts. I wouldn't be shocked if Mount Cheahaw had 6 inches with this thing up on the big mountain.
Wow, that would be fun to be there.
I would love it.
Thank you, James. Well, with the threat of snow in the forecast, numerous school systems, daycares, and businesses have decided to close Friday. Log on to abc3340.com right now for a complete list of closings around central Alabama. We will also have school closings scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
Well, sports is straight ahead. Stay with us.
Speaks to me being a man of my word. I said it last year that we're going to be back, and we're back. So it's huge for us. We're super ready for this matchup. We know what Alabama brings to the table and how talented they are, and the successes they've had. But we're ready to go play.
Oh, what a game it'll be Monday night. The countdown to touchdown in Tampa now in its final few hours. Alabama's arrival scheduled for noon Eastern tomorrow. Ben Boulware and the revenge-minded Tigers hit the runway at 4. All the pieces are in place for Clemson's redemption win here. Deshaun Watson, Mike Williams, and the Tigers offense is operating at peak levels right now, and the defense just pitched a shutout against Ohio State. Then there's the revenge factor. Clemson is hungry for a title. They're hungry to pay back Alabama, but in a twist that can only be pulled off by a Nick Saban coach team, the Tide defense, winners last year, also thinking revenge.
After last year, to be honest with you, it didn't even feel like we won the game because of how bad we played. And, you know, I was real upset. My mom, after the game, I was looking real upset. I had my head down. She was like, you won the game, man. Like, you won the national championship. Like, cheer up. And I was like, nah, we didn't play how we supposed to play. It didn't feel like we won the game. So, you know, I feel like everybody kind of used that game, that one game, kind of in the off season and in the summer and stuff to kind of push them. So it's kind of like we want revenge too in that way.
That's something we're not focused on. You know, that they're going to have, you know, the revenge factor or whatever you want to call it on their side. You know, we know that if we come out, you know, we execute, we play, and you know, we play Alabama football, and we do exactly this, what we do week in and week out. In preparation and in the game, you know, we'll be fine.
That is peak process right there. More Title Talk and a special live edition of The Zone coming up at the top of the hour on My 68 with Mike, Kevin, and Doug. Reuben Foster would like to cut back on tackling in practice. Nick Saban's take on Foster's take. And in basketball, don't hate on Coach K. 7 o'clock, My 68. Be there. Meantime, big one at the Pete Hanna Center tonight. Sanford hosts Furman with an early pole position in the SoCon up for grabs. Bulldogs have been red hot. They've won 8 of 9. 6 players average 8 or more points per game. And as a result, the W's are piling up.
I think in that last 8 or 9 games, we've done a good job of sharing the ball. You know, what we've talked about is we've usually got 5 guys on the floor that are weapons. So you got to use all those weapons, and some nights it's going to be one guy's night, the other nights it's going to be another.
We've tried to take the so what, now what approach. Just we win a game, so what? Now we got to get on to the next one, trying to just handle one at a time, come to work every day. But for sure, I think confidence is carrying us this year.
It's working. They're 2-0 in conference.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Hey, check this out. Tuscaloosa, a little wintry mix. We have some sleet, a little light rain, a snowflake or two. No issues before midnight tonight. We'll update everything you need to know tonight at 10.